2001 Commerce City Municipal Court. Can the people in the Zoom meeting, Ms. Flores, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. For the people in the Zoom meeting, go ahead and put your devices on mute. When I call your case, I'll tell you to unmute, okay? And for the people in the courtroom, when I call your name, I'll tell you which station to come to. While you're at that station, please do not touch the microphone. I will need you to speak loudly and clearly. One of my responsibilities today is to make sure that what you say gets properly recorded. After you're done at the station, I'll direct you to see my clerks in the lobby. Their windows are located to the left once you've exited through the double doors at the rear of the courtroom. When you leave the courtroom, you do need to go out through those double doors, but don't go out to the metal detector. Make the left before the metal detector, and that'll get you to my clerk's windows. Carmen? These are people that are here? No, they're all Zoom. Okay. All right, Ms. Flores, if you would go ahead and unmute your device. Okay, that's fine. And Ms. Flores, did you watch the advisement of rights video?
I couldn't find it.
All right, we're going to have to pass your matter. Go to Commerce City Courts on your browser, and it'll provide you a link there that says advisement of rights video. You can mute this. You don't have to leave this to do that. Open another page and go there. Watch the video, and then I'll recall your case, okay? Just kind of wave at me when you finish watching it. Mr. Pacheco, if you would mute your device, please.
Okay, sorry about that, Your Honor.
That's okay. If anyone on Zoom has not watched the advisement video, you must watch the advisement video before I call your case. So if you have not watched it, take the opportunity now to go watch it. Michelle Medina, you could unmute your device. Good morning.
Good morning.
Have you watched the advisement video?
I have.
Okay, good. Give me just a moment. All right, I have a document that alleges that on November 28th of 2020 at 12 noon, or in that approximate time, in the area of 14450 East 104th Avenue, that you violated the city ordinance by having or harboring a vicious or dangerous animal. Do you understand the charge against you?
Yes.
All right, the city attorney indicates that he reviewed the elements of that charge with you. Did he go over those elements?
Yes.
All right, and it's my understanding that you wish to plead not guilty to this charge. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, give me a moment. All right, I've entered your not guilty plea. Did you wish to have a trial to the court or a trial to a jury?
I don't know what the difference is.
Okay, a trial to the court means that the prosecution would have to present the evidence, directly to a judge, and then the judge will determine whether or not he's met the burden of proving the case against you beyond a reasonable doubt. If you wish to have a trial to a jury, then we'll bring in people from the community. We can have 3, 4, 5, or 6 people on the jury. The prosecution will present the evidence to the jury, and they will decide whether or not he's met the burden of proof with regard to the charge against you. So one is a trial to a judge, the other is a trial to people from the community.
Do I need to have an attorney represent me, or can I represent myself?
Yeah, wait a minute. You may not have been able to hear him. He's indicating to me that he's waiving jail, so jail is not a possible penalty anymore. And as a consequence, I can't offer you a jury trial. I can only offer people jury trials when they're facing a jail sentence. So we'll set your case for a trial to the court. Now, whether or not you wish to have an attorney is entirely your decision. I I cannot appoint a court-appointed attorney to represent you on this charge because you're not facing jail. But you should certainly consult with an attorney. There's a lot of attorneys out there that get review see if you decide you want an attorney, you can hire one. If you don't want one, you can go forward on your own. Okay?
Okay, okay,
All right, so jail is no longer a possibility for this charge. We'll schedule your case for a trial to the court. If there are any witnesses that you wish to have present on the date of your trial that you believe will not appear in court voluntarily, when you communicate with my clerks, let them know. They will issue subpoenas for you free of charge. They'll explain how those subpoenas need to be served on your witnesses to have them effectively ordered to appear on the date of your trial. And again, that's only for witnesses who won't appear voluntarily. Also, if you wish to get copies of the police officer's notes or the reports related to your case, let my clerk know, and they'll provide all of those reports to you. Do you have any questions?
no, I don't.
Okay, so again, my clerks will contact you by email either today or tomorrow. They'll give you the trial date, and then if you want them, ask for subpoenas. They'll give those to you. If you want the reports, ask for those, and they'll provide those to you. So you can expect to receive the communication from my clerks either today or tomorrow. Do
Okay.
you have any questions at all?
No, I just,
Okay, then you are free to leave the meeting. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Richard Gonzalez, if you would unmute your device, please. Mr. Gonzalez, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have a document that says that you're pleading guilty to committing the offense of being an employee. Let me even read the charge. And at the time of employment being intoxicated or consuming alcoholic beverages. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today, by pleading guilty to this charge, which allegedly occurred on December 6th of 2020 at about 6 o'clock at night in the area of 12302 East 100th Place here in Commerce City? Is this how you wish to
Yes, Your
resolve your
Honor.
case? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. The city attorney said he reviewed the elements of the charge against you. Did he go over those elements with you?
No, he did not.
All right. Give me one moment. Yes. Well, he's saying you didn't, so I'm going to put it on the record.
When he said it,
Yeah, he read the elements over to you, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and just do it right now myself. All right. In order to be found guilty of this charge, he would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that on or about December 6th of 2020 at approximately 6 o'clock in the evening in the area of 12302 East 104th Place here in Commerce City, that you were an employee, servant, agent of a licensee, and that in that capacity you consumed any alcoholic beverage or appeared to be visibly intoxicated while on duty at the licensed premises. It shall be unlawful for a licensee to permit such conduct to occur upon the licensed premise. In other words, the way this normally happens is you were either working at a bar or at a liquor store and consumed alcoholic beverages while on duty. Do you understand what the prosecutor would have to prove for you to be found guilty of this charge?
yes.
Okay. All right. And you watched the advisement of rights video?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to be going over some of those rights with you. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge, you're waiving your right to be represented by an attorney in this case?
Yes.
You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent of this charge unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this charge, you're waiving, that is, giving up your right to have a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're giving up your rights to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call in support of this charge against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf, and if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of a trial to testify or to remain silent, and if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of this charge, you would have the right to appeal that conviction to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea today, you are giving up all of those trial and appeal-related rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will?
No.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No.
Then to the charge of unlawful employee consumption or intoxication of an alcoholic beverage while at a licensed premises, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will accept your guilty plea. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with a full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences. Okay, let me read what happened. All right, is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No, Your Honor.
Did your employer take any type of action against you as a result of this?
He let me go,
Okay.
pending whatever happens with this, with the court.
All right, listen carefully to how I'm imposing the sentence against you. I'm going to impose a $500 fine, and I'm going to suspend $300 of the fine on the condition that you have no new ordinance violations for a period of 1 year from today's date. So that means that you're going to be paying $200 plus surcharges plus court costs for this violation. My clerks are going to be in contact with you by email. If you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. You need to make sure that you don't pick up any new ordinance violations in the city of Commerce City for a period of 1 year from today's date. Because if you do, then I'll impose the additional $300 fine. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then you are free to leave the meeting. My clerks will be in contact with you either today or tomorrow, okay?
Thank you.
Ms. Flores, have you finished watching the video?
Yes.
Okay. All right, back on the record in case number 304218 regarding Bethany Flores. I have a document that indicates that you're agreeing to plead guilty to violating the city ordinance against harboring a vicious or dangerous animal on January 15th of 2021 at 2:40 in the afternoon in the area of 11163 Eagle Creek Circle. In exchange for pleading guilty to this charge, the city attorney will dismiss the remaining animal at large charge against you. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes.
All right. The city attorney said he reviewed the elements of the charges with you. Did he go over those elements with you?
Yes.
Okay. And you've watched the advisement video, so let me go through some of that. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge, you're waiving your right to be represented by an attorney in this case?
Yes.
You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent of both of the original charges unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this charge today, you're giving up your right to have a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You're giving up your rights to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call in support of the original charge against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf, and if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of the trial to testify or to remain silent, and if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of either one of the original charges, you would have the right to appeal that conviction to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea today, you are giving up all of those trial and appeal-related rights?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will?
No.
Has anyone made a promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No.
Can you go into my office and you saw where I had the affidavits and everything? Just bring them in to me. Thank you. Then to the charge of harboring a vicious or dangerous animal on January 15th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will accept your guilty plea. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with a full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences. I've entered the order dismissing the animal at large charge. All right. Thank you. And Ms. Flores, you should know that when Amanda was impounded, they had to have me approve the impound order, so I'm somewhat familiar with the facts. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No.
Yes, I was going to say that you have the officer present. What should I be aware of?
Just that our feeling is Amanda is dog aggressive or animal aggressive as opposed to people aggressive. And the defendant's property goes against the trail. And there's a problem with the fencing. In other words, the dog can apparently easily jump over the fence. So the city is willing to give her Amanda back once she says she contacted her landlord or the homeowners association, and they can build a fence, sort of with
All right. Yeah, no, I reviewed the affidavit and I've reviewed the police report in this case. So here, first, I am going to leave the issue of restitution open for 30 days. Again, it's just happened so recently that there may be some people who get follow-up bills, and I want to give them the opportunity to turn those over to the prosecutor before I close that part of this case. So that part will close in 30 days. Now, according to Mr. Golland, you've said that you thought that you could put a fence up in approximately a week. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. But you have to keep in mind, your case happened right before the city council adopted new rules about these type of things. So even though your case is still under the old rules, the new rules will apply to things going forward. The fence that you put up, or whatever you do, has to be 5 feet away inside the yard,
Yes.
away from the existing structure fence that you have, okay?
Yeah.
So make sure it's at least 5 feet. All right. And I don't show any prior animal at large. Have there been prior complaints about Amanda being animal at large? No? Okay, good. And this does look animal on animal. I mean, sometimes you don't know your dog has that tendency until it happens, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Listen really carefully to how I impose this. I obviously have to punish you to some extent because there was injuries to parties related to this event. So I'm going to impose a $500 fine. I'm going to suspend $400 of that fine on the condition that you have no new animal code violations. I'm going to authorize the return of Amanda to you after the animal control department verifies that the structure, the fence that you built, or that the structure that you built is adequate to contain her, prevent her from being at large again in the future. Which means even if she gets out and is caught out, you're going to get hit with this additional $400 fine, in addition to any new fine I impose for having an animal at large on a new case. Okay? If they don't choose to file a new case, but they file notice with me that she was found out again, I'll still impose the $400 fine. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to issue an order authorizing the release. You're going to be responsible for any shelter or impoundment fees. They'll probably make you pay that before you get her out. But really, try to do this as quick as possible because dogs don't thrive when they're in the shelter. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So authorize release. You pay the impound fees. You can contact animal control. They'll come and inspect it. It must meet their inspection requirements before I'll authorize the release to be taken into effect. $100 fine plus surcharges plus court costs. No new code violations, animal code violations for a period of 1 year from today's date. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right. My clerks are going to email you the information about the fines and costs today or tomorrow. If you need to make a payment plan, they'll work that out with you. The copy of the order will go to everybody who's involved. As soon as you call my animal control department and they come out and inspect and say you're good to go, then you can take the order of release to the animal shelter and they'll release Amanda back to you. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you.
You are free to leave the meeting.
Thank you.
Timothy Pacheco, if you would unmute your device, please.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. I have a document that alleges that on December 22nd of 2020, at about 2:54 in the afternoon, shortly before 3 in the afternoon, in the area of 5720 East 63rd Avenue, unit number 33, that you committed the offense of theft. Do you understand the charge against you?
Yes, Your Honor.
The city attorney indicates he reviewed the elements of that charge with you. Did he in fact do that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, it says here also that you wish to have the court appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So I have an application for a court-appointed attorney that I need to review with you. I'm going to try and get through this as succinctly as possible. Give me just a moment.
Okay.
Are you still living on 63rd Avenue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't have a phone number for you. Do you have a telephone number where people can get in contact with you?
Yes, Your Honor. Are you ready?
Yeah.
720
Uh-huh.
691
Uh-huh.
0883.
720-691-0883.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Are you single, married, separated, divorced, widowed, anything?
Single.
Single. Do you have
Yes,
any
sir.
children that you're required to provide support for?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any ownership interest in any real estate of any type?
No, Your Honor.
How long has it been since you've been unemployed?
I've been on disability for about 7 years, I want to say, maybe somewhere around there.
Okay. Are you receiving Social Security disability then?
Yes, Your Honor.
How much do you receive every month?
I believe 791.
Okay. I've got to ask these questions. I'm required. Are you currently receiving any type of unemployment compensation benefits?
No, Your Honor.
Are you receiving any other government-funded support, such as food stamps or Medicaid?
Food stamps and Medicaid.
Okay. Do you have any other sources of income? Are you working day labor or anything like that?
No, Your Honor.
Do you own any automobiles?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have a driver's license or a Colorado ID card?
I have an ID.
Okay. Do you have any ownership interest in any financial transaction devices?
No, Your Honor.
Savings bonds, treasury bonds, retirement plans?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I'm going to find that you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case.
Okay.
All right, when my clerks contact you, they're going to give you the notice of the new court date. We're going to provide your contact information to the attorney that I appoint to represent you in this case. Please cooperate with them because obviously their job is to do things that serve your best interests, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, your hearing's going to be in about a month. You may hear from my clerks today, maybe as late as sometime tomorrow before they get back with that because they need to clear the next court date with whoever is next on our list for court-appointed attorneys. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're free to leave the meeting.
Have a great day.
You too. Release forms? Yeah, I probably will. I don't know that I have one here because the one I have here is Pitbull, but I'll look. Give me just a second. I'll take a quick look. Let's see, where is, oh, that folder's not there. Oh, there it is. I'll let you fill in the name and stuff. Thank you, because I don't have the file with me anymore. Evelyn Villalobos, if you would unmute your device, please. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, I have a document that indicates that you're pleading guilty to the charge of allowing a disturbance by animal on, this is an added charge, on December 6th of 2020 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the area of 10561 East 104th Avenue here in Commerce City. In exchange for pleading guilty to this charge, the city attorney will dismiss both of the original charges against you. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes.
All right, the city attorney said he reviewed the elements of all of these charges with you. Did he go over those elements with you?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Give me just a moment. All right. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this added charge, you're waiving your right to be represented by an attorney in this case?
Yes.
You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent of this charge unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this charge, you're waiving your right to have a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
You're giving up your rights to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call in support of the original charges against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf, and if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses effectively ordered to appear on the date of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of a trial to testify or to remain silent, and if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of either one of the original charges, you would have the right to appeal that decision to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge, added charge, you are giving up all of those trial and appeal related rights?
Yes, I do.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this added charge against your will?
No.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No.
Then to the added charge of permitting a disturbance by animal on December 6th of 2020 at approximately 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the area of 10561 East 104th Avenue here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
I'm guilty.
I will accept your guilty plea. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with a full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No, sir.
All right, give me just a moment. All right, I'm going to leave the issue of restitution open for 30 days for the lady that was bit. And let me ask, this looks like it was adjacent to your house. Had the dog gotten out somehow, or?
Oh yeah, because we took her outside to go to the bathroom, but we were supposed to take her back in right away. But they were just hanging out, my parents, because I wasn't there when that happened.
Oh, okay.
Outside, and then my dog seen the lady on the bicycle, and that's when she went up to her, and the lady stopped, and the dog was playing, but she actually bit her. And then they did ask her what she was good, and then she just said she was, and then she was just like worried about the vaccines.
Sure, the rabies.
Yeah.
So, do you not have a fenced yard in back or something?
No, we actually have her in a ledge, but that time, because we were gonna take her inside right away, that's why it happened.
Okay, well, don't let it happen again, because
Yeah.
this counts as a major strike against her, because, she wasn't on the leash and she bit somebody. So, if you're going to take her out, keep her on a leash or something, but she can't be out loose again, I guess is what I'm telling you, okay? If she bites somebody else, it could be much more serious, all right?
No, yeah. Get it.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do on this one. On this one, I'm going to impose a $400 fine. I'm going to suspend $300 of it on the condition that you have no animal control violations for a period of 1 year.
Okay.
All right. There'll be court costs and surcharges added to that. Obviously, I now know that Corey's on this list. If Corey bites either a person or an animal in the future, it could be bad, all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my clerks will be in contact with you either today or sometime tomorrow, and they'll work out the payment arrangements for you. If you need a payment plan, they'll provide one for you. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, you are free to leave the meeting.
Thank you.
Has Adam seen the people that are here? Oh, okay. Yeah, because I need to get the people that are here out of here. Connor Mangia Racina, if you would come up to station number 1, please. I'm sorry? Oh, I've been saying names for 20 years as a judge. Yeah, I have to admit, I don't know that I've run across this one before, though. All right, in your case, did you watch the advisement of rights video? Okay. Give me a moment. I have a document that alleges that on December 23rd of 2020 at 2:35 in the afternoon, in the area of the 5600 block of East 64th Avenue, that you committed the offense of theft. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing? Our city attorney said that he reviewed the elements of the charge with you. In other words, what he would have to prove for you to be found guilty of this charge. Did he go over those elements with you? He also said that you and he have worked out an agreement that you're going to enter a plea of guilty today, but I'm not going to enter a conviction today. I'm going to hold your case in suspense for a period of 1 year. If within the next 6 to 7 weeks you complete 24 hours of useful public service, a petty theft class, pay restitution to the Circle K, agree to never return to the Circle K, and commit no new, different, separate ordinance violations, traffic doesn't count, for a period of 1 year, at the end of 1 year, without the need for you to appear, I will withdraw the guilty plea you entered today, and then I will dismiss the case in 1 year. Is this how you wish to resolve your case? All right. I still have to go over those rights with you because technically you're pleading guilty today, even though we're holding it in suspense. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge, you're waiving your right to be represented by an attorney? You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent of this charge unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this charge, you're waiving your right to have a trial. Do you understand that? Okay, before I forget, are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces? Okay. You're also giving up your rights to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call in support of the original charge against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf, and if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of the trial to testify or to remain silent, and if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of the original charge, you would have the right to appeal that conviction to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea today, you're giving up all of those trial and appeal-related rights? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the charge of theft on December 23rd of 2020 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? All right, I'll accept your guilty plea. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with a full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences. You don't need to make a statement today because I'm not sentencing you. I'm simply imposing the conditions of the deferred judgment and sentence. There's a $25 supervision fee, a $9 fuel surcharge that I have to charge on this type of case. I will enter restitution in the amount of $207.53. The conditions of the deferred judgment are that you complete 24 hours of useful public service, a petty theft class. It's a one-day class. Pay $207.53 in restitution. You're ordered not to return to the Circle K at East 64th Avenue, and you're to commit no new law violations other than routine traffic violations in Commerce City for a period of 1 year. If you got a DUI, that's not a routine traffic case. That could cause the deferred judgment to be revoked, okay? Do you have any questions about what's expected of you? All right, let me finish the paperwork, and then I'll explain what you're going to get when you go to the counter. Give me just 1 second. All right, go ahead. There's no fine. It's court costs. Yeah, the $34, yeah, you can pay that today and work out a payment plan. So what I was about to tell you is when you go to the windows in the lobby and see my clerks, they'll work out a payment plan for the restitution in your case. They'll also obviously assess the court costs against you. They're going to give you a referral to the people that put on the class. It's important that you contact those people right away so that you can get the class scheduled and done by the 6-week deadline that my clerks give you. It's your responsibility to make sure the certificate of completion gets filed with my court by that deadline. My clerks are also going to give you the community service form. You can do the community service anywhere. It does not have to be done in Commerce City. The only requirement that I make, give me a second. Carmen, can you look at the back of the ticket? Did I write 24 or 16 hours? And the deferred, yeah. Okay, that's good. You can do the community service anywhere, doesn't have to be done in Commerce City. The only requirement that I make is that the place that you do it must be a legitimate nonprofit agency. I won't accept it if you simply do free work for friends, neighbors, relatives, or for a for-profit business that just doesn't pay you. Make sure the place is a legitimate nonprofit. What I always tell people to do is find something that interests you, someplace, if you attend a church, volunteer at your church. If you have kids in school, see if you can do it at their school. If you like animals, do it at Denver Dumb Friends League or an animal shelter or the Wildlife Center. Little kids, do it at a Boys and Girls Club, something like that. Find something so that it's less like punishment. Do the work, have them fill out the form, make sure that gets filed with my court by the deadline. If you find it difficult to get it done by the deadline, before the deadline that my clerks put on the form, contact the court and I'll grant you an extension, okay? Because I understand with COVID now, there are a lot of places that normally take volunteers that aren't taking volunteers right now, okay? So get all of that done, stay out of Circle K, get the restitution paid, don't pick up anything new. At the end of the year, I will dismiss the case. Do you have any questions now? All right, when you go ahead and go to the windows, my clerks will take care of you. You too. Michael Threadgill, if you would, he's not in there.
I'm here.
Oh, you are? Oh.
Yes. You just.
Oh, you've already unmuted. No, go ahead. You can unmute. All I see is your name across the bottom. I don't even see a box for you. But if you're there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know what's wrong with my phone. I've been trying to fix it, but it's not working.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. As long as you can hear me, that's what counts.
Okay.
And I can hear you, obviously.
Yes, sir.
All right. I have a document that indicates that you're agreeing to plead guilty to committing the offense of harassment on November 7th of 2020 at 1:30 in the morning in the area of 6950 Highway 2, Unit 1 here in Commerce City. Is
Yes,
this
sir.
how you wish to resolve your case today, by pleading guilty to this charge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you review the advisement of rights video, even though you may not have been able to see it? Were you able to hear the advisement of rights advisement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to go over some of those with you. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge, you're giving up your right to be represented by an attorney in this case?
Yes, sir.
You're also giving up your right to be represented by an attorney unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty today, you're giving up your right to have a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces?
No, sir.
All right. Among the other rights that you're giving up are the right to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call. Oh, wait, before I do that, the city attorney said he reviewed the elements of this charge with you. Did he review those elements?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you're also giving up your rights to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call in support of this charge against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf, and if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the day of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of a trial to testify or to remain silent, and if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of the original charge, you would have the right to appeal that conviction to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea today, you're giving up all of those trial and appeal related rights?
Yes.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will?
No, sir.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No, sir.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No.
Then to the added or to the original charge of harassment on, actually, I've lost my spot. I'm gonna go back and ask the last three questions again, just to make sure I get a clear record. Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will?
No, sir.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No, sir.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, sir.
Then to the charge of harassment on November 7th of 2020 at 1:30 in the morning in the area of 6950 Highway 2 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will accept your guilty plea. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with the full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences. I
Okay.
have Mr. Wright as the person that I'm issuing a protection order for.
Mhm.
Do you know what his first name is?
Daryl.
Oh, it is Daryl? Okay.
Daryl Jerome Parker Wright.
Okay, that's fine.
Birth date of 10/15 of 77.
Okay, I just needed the first name. I had everything else, but thank you. All right. Was there anything you wanted me to consider before I imposed the sentence against you?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, I'm homeless right now. I'm trying to save money for an apartment. And actually, my brother came and harassed me. This happened just a couple of days ago. He found out through my niece where I was at, where I've been at, to lay my head after work. And he comes after me. He provokes me. So if this protection order is in place, I would like a protection order on my behalf where he doesn't have any type of contact with me or anything. I chose to walk away from him 2 years ago. And then I got into a bad spot, and I thought because he got out of prison and he was doing better and working that he changed. But I was verbally abused. He's very verbally abusive. He's threatened me multiple times. It's not a one-sided thing with me and him. I was provoked beyond repair. And that's why I came at him the way I did. And that's the situation I'm in. I gave him $1,600 to stay at that home for a period of time. That was not, and then he threw everything that I owned out. I only have a bag of clothes to my name right now because I don't have anywhere to store the stuff. And he threw out over $1,000 in my things. That's how we got to this place. But I will plead guilty to the charges because I did harass him, and very well so. I mean, anybody in that situation would get a little hot.
Yeah, getting hot and getting to the point where your conduct is criminal, there's a line between the two, and you cross the line with this conduct, all right?
Yeah, I understand that, and he's dead to me. You don't have to worry about me ever speaking to him again.
Sure, but also you need to understand, you're the person that's before me to the court, before the court today, subject to the court's jurisdiction. He's not. So I can't issue a protection order the other way. If you want a protection order from him, you're going to need to go to the county court and file a request for protection order. Right now, he's the one that's getting the protection order. Listen carefully to how I'm imposing.
But he can still come see me, though? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, no, if he comes to see you, you need to leave, and you can call the police at that point if he's harassing you.
Okay.
There's nothing to prevent you from doing that if he comes to where you are. Now, the
Okay.
key here is you're not to go to where he is, and you're not to call him. It's that simple, okay?
Okay.
All right, and if he shows up, don't get into an argument with him. Just separate yourself from him and call the police, all right?
Okay.
No
All right, that
self-help.
sounds good.
There's no self-help here, Mr. Threadgill. You're not
Okay.
to take any steps directly. Call the police if something is going on, all right?
Okay.
All right, I'm not going to impose a fine. I understand your financial circumstances. I do, however, have to impose $29 in court costs, all right?
Okay.
Now, listen to the rest of this. I'm going to impose a 15-day jail sentence, but I'm going to suspend the entire jail sentence on the following conditions. 1, you need to pay the court costs. 2, rather than impose a fine against you or give you any direct jail, I am going to require that you complete 16 hours of community service. That's the
Okay.
punishment I'm imposing. I'm
Okay.
suspending the jail in addition to the 16 hours that you're to have no direct communication with Daryl Wright, including phone calls. You're not to initiate any communication with him at all. If he communicates with you, you can respond to him saying, there's a court order that says I can't have contact with you, please leave.
Okay.
If he doesn't leave, then separate yourself. All right?
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions about what's expected of you?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Now, you can do the community service anywhere. It doesn't have to be done in Commerce City. Just make sure the place that you pick is a legitimate nonprofit. When you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to get with you either today or tomorrow to make arrangements to pay the court costs. They'll get the form to you. Find a legitimate nonprofit agency. You'll have a deadline of about 6 weeks, and it's going to be your responsibility to turn that form back into my court by the deadline. Okay?
Okay. And one more question: is the Goodwill okay to work at?
I'm sorry?
Could I do the community service at the Goodwill?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
All right? Yeah, they're a
Yeah, I'll get
legitimate nonprofit.
that knocked out in the next couple of weeks then.
All right. You are free to leave the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Anybody in the pipeline anywhere?